Hello, this is Bill Colodzi. Welcome to a Khans of Tarkir throwback draft. So this is a format that has a lot of colors in it. It has the clans, three-color wedge colors. So we've got Temur here, there's Abzan, Jeskai, Sultai, and Mardu over here, the aggressive one. A lot going on. Morphs are a big mechanic. Morphs, and you can play these as little gray ogres, 2/2 guys for 3 mana, and then flip them later. Kind of a slower format. Play lots of colors, play lots of lands, and get something good going. Avalanche Tusker, very good. Heir of the Wilds is just a solid 2-drop that you can't really argue with, so I'm going to take that here. Green is a fine color. Wow, we get past another one. I'm not sure how much better it is than Frontier Bivouac, but it's probably a little bit better. These three color lands are pretty insane. You're not limited to playing 3 colors. You can play 4 or even 5 colors fairly easily, but yeah, definitely taking Heir of the Wilds here. Ferocious is the big Temur mechanic, where if you have a creature with power 4 or greater, then stuff starts going nuts. And this guy gets a bit bigger when he attacks, so a 2-mana 3/3 Death Touch is what you're getting if you have anything with 4 power out there. What's going on here? We're being passed to by Yogurt Pot. We're passing to Emrakul and some other things. Chandra. This thing. Mountain Torque. Alright. Okay, what now? Well, Hooting Mandrills is... are we going to be mono green in this 3-color format? Is one way to enable Ferocious for pretty cheap if you can get some creatures in your graveyard. I think that's going to be the pick here. The other option, the only other option, is to take Jungle Hollow. Nothing else here is good enough to pick over that, and we're not really sure what other colors we're going to be, so I'll take Hooting Mandrills here. Yeah, Visual Bug, Magic Online, nice. Goblin Slide. Aren't the colors to start with to play Goblin Slide, but I do love this card, it's pretty fun. Mardu Rough Rider, not going to be the pick. However, Snowhorn Rider is amazing. All of the morphs, all of the multicolored morphs are really solid. And this one, you play it early and flip it later for 5/5 Trample. So it helps with Ferocious. It's just a big body to attack with, and it's pretty awesome. Now we have 3 great options. We've got Alpine Grizzly, a fine follow-up to Heir of the Wilds, trigger Ferocious immediately. Another Snowhorn Rider, and Temur Charm. Roar of Challenge also really good with Heir of the Wilds, if you can get some Ferocious. But let's take a look at this Temur Charm. It's a fight spell, counter spell, and kind of a falter effect. So yeah, I like Temur Charm. I want to cut Temur, and it complements what we have pretty well. Dragon Scale Boon. Right, so put some counters on your creature, untap it, so it's a bit of a trick. Nothing else here in our colors. I mean, Tigrum Scheming is unplayable. Chief of the Scale is great if you're in Abzan or just black-white warriors. But we're not, so I'm going to take Dragon Scale Boon here. One advantage of it is if you do it on Heir of the Wilds, all of a sudden it's a 4/4 and it counts itself. So it's a 4/4 that becomes a 5/5 attacker. Can't really argue with that. Okay, Embodiment of the Spring if we really are in Temur. But if we're not heavy blue in Temur, it's a little bit rough to cast this early. Trap Essence. I love cards like this. It is a slow enough format that you can get away with holding this in your hand for a while. But you counter a creature and make your creature bigger. And your opponent's always like, man, you're so bad for playing that card in your deck. And you're like, yeah, well, that might be bad, but I won. Bloodfire Expert. Any spell we play will kind of activate Ferocious for us. It's pretty cheap to play this thing. Not sure it's great, but it'll be fine here. Crippling Chill was another option there. Trumpet Blast and Scaldkin. I don't mind having a Scaldkin. And the Frontier Bivouac Wheels? What? Doesn't make any sense. This is like a first pick card. Granted, we took Heir of the Wilds, but yeah, I guess Teamer's open. Or people just don't know how good this is. Like, even if you're not in one of the colors, heck, even if you're not in two of the colors, taking a card like this in pack 1 is setting you up for, you know, any kind of splash you might want, any kind of clan you're going to get in a later pack. So yeah, pretty crazy to see that there. What are we doing here? Let's order stuff around. Be a little careful doing this because once you start ordering stuff, you might activate the bug. Seek the Horizon. A nice card to thin, fix your mana, play lots of land. Teamer Banner, just cuz, why not? We don't have the 5-drops that really this works with, but whatever. One thing to note is we did pass a Teamer card out of our first pack. Roar of the Challenge, pretty good. So it might be that we just don't get that much Teamer in pack 2 if they took that elephant. But that's alright, I think we're set up well enough that if we can pick up, you know, it's very hard to cut someone out of a color fully when it's 3 colors. Nice Chief of the Edge. The rare is only good if you're in a really dedicated Obzon deck, which can make tons of counters, like multiple counters a turn. Then this becomes a removal spell every turn. Obzon Guide, insane. Savage Punch just has to be the pick here. It's already a fight, but when you have Ferocious, it just becomes a one-sided fight, and the art is insane. What? Alright, we passed the elephant, and we get past Surik Dragonclaw and an Heir of the Wilds. We're going to wheel something from this pack. Either Heir, Master the Way, Hooting Mandrills, Thornwood Falls, Snowhorn Rider, the Weaver, Glacial Stalker. It's impossible that we don't wheel something here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, unless they all take a Teamer card. But Surik Dragonclaw, this guy's the real deal. He's the guy. He's the guy punching the bear. And now he's wearing the bear. So a 5-mana 6/6 flash. The mana's pretty good. We'll try to pick up some Thornwood Falls. And then all of a sudden, your creatures get trample and can't be countered. So good luck beating this card. It's a shame to pass our 3rd Heir of the Wilds. That really is too bad. There's some worlds where that's just a better card here. Pretty shout out to this naturalize art, kind of cool. There have been some really good naturalize arts. Disdainful Stroke. I think it's worth picking one of those up. Teamer is really good at putting down a big threat and then protecting it. And it's cards like Disdainful Stroke that make that possible. Alpine Grizzly. Sure, I'll take this. Heartpiercer Bow can be good against a Mardu deck that plays a lot of 1-toughness creatures. Nothing else in this pack for us, unless we're to go into another color. Tranquil Grove or Jeskai Charm. Mind Swipe. Another card like Trap Essence that can really get your opponent. But I'm going to take Rugged Highlands here just to make sure our mana is good enough to play all of our sweet spells. Mind Swipe might even wheel. It's not, you know, tier 1 or anything. Ooh, Ice Feather Haven. Now that is really good. It's hard to beat this card. Just a 2-mana 2/2 flyer. That's already pretty good, but when you flip it, if you play it for its morph and flip it later, you get such a tempo boost. The Riverwheel Aerialist's also a nice one. Even in Teamer, if you don't have that many spells, it's still activating all your ferocious stuff. And we've got some ferocious little humans here. So pretty easy. Ferocious humans and a couple ferocious spells. The Roar of Challenge and the Savage Punch. Another pretty good 2-drop, but better than Jeskai. Not going to take another Seek the Horizon. We probably won't play the first one, although it's a fine card. Longshot Squad. The pick here is really between Longshot Squad and Swiftwater Cliffs. Usually I'll take the land over the creature. This creature's fine, but yeah, it takes a little setup to make it even 4 power, so I'm going to take the land. If we have 3 drops that cost 1 of each mana, we're going to need to have some powerful fixing. Team or deck? Yeah, glad this deck was open. The Suruk Dragonclaw is just such a fun card to play with. What we're looking for are more cards like Savage Punch, because Roar of Challenge is great, but it's not really as consistent as a card like Savage Punch. Ooh, talk about inconsistent. There's also incremental growth here. Trail of Mystery is fine. It's a nice little rare, and it works with, well, 2 of our cards. They're morphs. We don't have that many morphs. Incremental growth, it's just really solid with a bunch of creatures. And yeah, I'm going to take it here. The Cone of Flame for 1/1 counters, you get 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to take it here. I'm not actually that excited about it. Master the Way Wheels, sure. Another Master the Way Wheels? Lord. Yeah, this pack, I mean, Master the Way really is good. But a lot of the cards we have require creatures to be good. And Snowhorn Rider really is a solid creature. I'm going to take Snowhorn Rider, just to make sure we get enough creatures. Summit Prowler, it's fine. Wetland Sambar, it's okay. I just don't like cards like this in general. Mindswipe is back, sure. Alright, so we've got some morphs. I'm not sure about that pick of Snowhorn Rider over the second Master of the Way. It just depends how good our fixing gets after pack 3. And I really do want to be more creature-based. Yeah, we've got plenty of pump spells now, plenty of removal, plenty of nonsense, and the core of our deck has to be this Rakshasa Death Dealer. It's a good one. Frontier Bivouac is going to be the pick. I said this was the first pick, and it definitely is here. Barrage of Boulders. If this could wheel, that would be pretty great. But again, we don't need that many non-creature spells. We already have a bunch. Obviously, we're playing Savage Punch and things, but I want to focus on the creatures and the fixing right now. So that is that. Ooh, Woolly Loxodon. Yeah, three or 4 good cards in this pack. I'm surprised only the Snowhorn Rider made it back from that pack, but there you are. Mardu Heartpiecer is good. Teamer Charger is good. These are all good. I'll take the Teamer Charger. We're going to have a lot of green cards in hand, and giving some big thing trample is just about perfect. Not to mention, just playing this thing out on turn 2 as a 3/1 is also pretty good. So early, it's a lot of pressure, and later, you get some trample on your Suruk. Suruk's a big dude, but he doesn't give himself trample. One little drawback. Oh no, we did it again. There's this bug where if you start moving cards, you just get more of them. So you gotta move them both at once, I guess. Sure, Teamer Ascendancy. Creatures have haste. Whenever a creature with 4 or greater enters the battlefield, you may draw a card. I think that's just not as good as Bear's Companion. It works well with it, but I'm going to take the Bear's Companion. Temur Ascendancy, I mean, it's a good card, but yeah, I got to prioritize the creatures, and I think Bear's Companion's just better, all in all. It probably wheels, and if not, someone will have fun with it. We don't need it. And we don't have that many things that we can just play with 4 power. You need more cards like Alpine Grizzly, the 3-drops that do it. The haste is nice too, I guess. Champion, I don't know. Nothing out of this pack is that good. Archer's Parapet's great. Aerostorm is fine, but again, we have all of this stuff to bring in, so we're not really hurting for playable non-creature spells. So I'll take the Bloodsoaked Champion just to have it. And another bunch of tricks. I guess someone really is starting to take the Temur stuff. Bit of a shame for us. Only 13 creatures right now. I guess we could play Kintree Warden or something, but I'll take the Swiftwater Cliffs. Come on, creature. Anything. Even, I guess, Bloodfire Expert is fine. You might look at Dragon Grip and say, wow, this is great. And it's fine, but again, we have so many cards to play. We just need creatures. Become Immense, yeah. Infinite good support cards. Canyon Lurkers. I think this is an underestimated card. It's not great, but sometimes you'll just be able to attack for 5. It's underestimated because people just don't think it's that great, and it's not, but when you play it, your opponent's not going to play around it. Stubborn Denial. They're going to think you have something better than you actually do, and a 3rd Snowhorn Rider, so we did get enough creatures after all. Oh gosh. I can't even tell how many creatures we have. Alright, we have a bunch of these Temur Ascendancy wheels. So is it worth it? We've got a lot of things we can play that give us the activation 10. Yeah, it's probably worth it. We can see. Obviously we're playing Savage Punch, Temur Charm. We could play Stubborn Denial or Disdainful Stroke, depending. Incremental Growth is probably good. Trap Essence is probably good. Master the Way is obviously great. And that might be it. Maybe we play 18 lands. The Temur Ascendancy does get some card advantage if we need that. The Boon. The real question is whether to play Incremental Growth or Dragon Scale Boon. The Growth is more of a win more card. I'm not sure that it'll play as well as it looks. Maybe it's good. I mean, the real way to play this is to play 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. And if we consider all of these 3-drops, and maybe this is a 4-drop, yeah, maybe it's good enough. There's probably a card there I should have picked, but we have enough. So that is 18. Again, we might look at it more like this. Mind Swipe. Yeah, a lot of fun cards that we're leaving in the sideboard just because we have so much. All creatures able to block target creature to do so. I almost want to play that. Because it works so well with Heir of the Wilds, it works so well with, you know, a lot of the stuff we have. Snowhorn Rider. But 18 lands does look correct for this deck. Some of our lands are coming into play tapped. We've got a lot of expensive morphs and things to do with our mana, so yeah, a lot of choices to make, or decisions to make here. The creatures are fine. kind of split the difference here. Some of these we might cast outright, and some, of course, we'll bring in morphed. I like Temur Ascendancy, I like Temur Charm, Trap Essence is kind of fun. Master the Way is always good. So, what else is there? Incremental Growth. Just win much earlier than expected. So maybe we need to make a cut here. And with 16 creatures, yeah, I'm going to cut a Bloodfire Expert. They're fine, but I don't think it's better than any random morph. So, yeah, how are the colors looking? We've got a lot of green, not so much blue, but at least 10 or 11 blue cards. So it's 11 blue. Most of this is red, too, so 12 red. Pretty close there. And 17 green, so 17, 11, and 12. Whoops, had basic lands here. Let's go up to 8 forests, 5 and 5. It's a good starting point. So take out one of each of these for the Swiftwater Cliffs. And then I think we can take out Rugged Highlands here. Then put these in. So how many of each color does this leave us with? It leaves us 8 red, 8 blue, and 9 green. Is that good enough? What color can we get rid of? I'm going to get rid of 1 blue and put in another green, so that's 10 green. And that should be plenty for our 2-drops. Alright, good stuff. I will see you in the matches.